Hey everyone, it's me with another video tutorial on HD Quiz is a free quiz builder plugin for WordPress with thousands of daily active users and a perfect 5-star rating on WordPress.org. Designed, developed, maintained, and supported by, well, just some dude. HD Quiz was built to be incredibly easy and intuitive WordPress quiz plugin. In fact, I'm not even sure why you're here. I mean, you look like a smart individual, a discerning consumer of YouTube tutorials. You don't need me. Just go install HD Quiz and I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, you're still here? In all seriousness, despite being a how-to video, this will probably be best used as a demo so that you can see what features HD Quiz has, see how everything looks and feels before deciding whether HD Quiz is the right plugin for you. So with that, let's jump in and take a look at how you actually get HD Quiz on your website. Alright, so you can just log into your site, go to plugins, add new, and then just type quiz into the search bar. You can also type in HD Quiz, but it should show up if you only type in quiz. You'll be able to find HD Quiz by the animated logo. I was actually the first one to do that for quizzes at least. And then you can install and activate. Once activated, you'll have a new menu in your sidebar called HD Quiz where you can set the quiz options and start building quizzes. So one of the first things you can do is check out the About/Options page. It's completely optional, but there's some stuff here that you might find useful, especially if you need to translate your quizzes into your native language. So if you're on the About/Option page found underneath HD Quiz, you'll see where you can enter in your Twitter handle, your Facebook app ID, which is actually deprecated, so don't do this anymore. You can change the share text. You can allow authors the ability to create quizzes, and you can add your ad set code, which also accepts shortcodes. So if you're using an ad manager or Google Ads or anything like that, paste your code here and the ad will automatically appear after every 5th question. You can also select the translation tab here to translate most aspects into your own language. Okay, now we can get into the fun stuff, which is actually creating the quizzes and adding questions to it. So if you go to HD Quiz, then quizzes, you'll be presented with this page. But before we jump into it, I just want to talk about the new documentation link here, which if you click on, it'll open up my new kind of WordPress plugin dedicated website, where you can see the full documentation I wrote specifically for HD Quiz. This goes over every single option, every single setting. It goes over some frequently asked questions, such as, can you use K-Text? The answer is yes, you can. So I definitely recommend going through and reading this if you need help. If not, you can always get free support. For instance, just here on this website alone, I have I think over 800 threads have been created. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out there. So how do you actually create a quiz? Well, you just right here where it says add new quiz, just type in the quiz name. I'm just going to go quiz demo because I'm not very original. Press enter to submit. And there you go, the quiz has been created. Now what we want to do is we want to actually start adding questions to the quiz. Now I just want to give you a little sneak peek, a little look behind the curtains first of some of the quiz settings. So here's just a list of all the quiz settings that you can do to change and customize how this particular quiz looks, works, feels, behaves, everything. But we're not going to get into that yet. We're going to save that for later. So for now, let's just start adding questions. So if you click the Add a New Question button, you'll be at the Add a New Question screen. So let's enter the question here, which will be, what is the fastest land animal? So what should we do here? We'll do obviously the cheetah, right? The cheetah. We'll do the moose. You know, I'm Canadian, and the moose is always underestimated. It's a powerful beast. I don't know why I'm going on about it. What else can we do? We do horses. Horses are pretty fast, sure. And we can do, I don't know, a wolf. Wolf are pretty fast. So obviously the correct answer is cheetah. So I'm just gonna check off cheetah and save the question. And that's it, we're done. It's that easy. We just added a question to our quiz. So now how do we actually add this quiz to a page? Well, if we go back to the quiz, we can see right here, there's this quiz shortcode. And if you copy and paste that shortcode onto any page or post, the shortcode will be replaced by the quiz. So if you're using kind of the classic WordPress editor, or you're using something like Elementor or something like that, this is how you'll add the quiz to the page. If, however, you're using Gutenberg, which is WordPress's native page builder, I actually have a custom Gutenberg block. So let's just actually create a page here. I'll call it demo quiz. And I actually have a custom block just for HD quiz. So if I type in HD quiz, you'll see it pop up here. And this will just generate a list where I can just easily choose whatever quiz I want to display. If not, as I said, you can just use the shortcode method, which will just look like that. You just literally just paste that code in and it'll automatically be replaced. So let's actually take a look at how this very basic default quiz looks like. So if I go here, boom, that's it. That's what it looks like. Pretty nice, pretty easy, looks pretty good. And yeah, it works. That's how the quiz works. Doesn't get much easier or quicker than that. The problem is that this is only one question. It's just a basic multiple choice question, and you probably want to maybe do some more cool stuff with it. So let's go take a look at some other stuff we can do. So I'm just going to go back to our quizzes here. Go back to our demo quiz, and I'm going to edit this question. And let's go take a look at the different types of questions we can have. So right now, by default, it's just multiple choice text, which is just this kind of multiple choice list here. There's also multiple choice image, which will allow you to select an image as well. So let's take a look at how this looks. I think it was cheetah was first, right? Yeah, cheetah, moose, horse, and wolf. So there we go. We're now using images as the answers as well. Let's go save that question. And let's go take a look at how that's changed the quiz. So now this is how the question looks like now. So now instead of just saying moose or wolf, I can actually choose an image as well. Pretty cool. So let's go take a look at some of the other questions. So the select all that apply, and the user needs to select all of the correct answers in order to be awarded the point. There's text-based answers, which is kind of like, let's actually add a new question. What is the best quiz plugin? And we'll say text-based answers, and we'll say HD quiz. Now what's important to note is that this isn't case sensitive, so this will work even if the user doesn't use capital letters. But you know what? It's actually HD quiz, and a lot of people might actually type it like this. So let's add them both as acceptable answers. So even if someone accidentally doesn't add in the space here, it'll still accept HD quiz as a possible answer. So let's go save that, and let's go take a look at how this now makes the quiz look. So here we have our multiple choice image based, and here we have our text based. So if I type in HD quiz, and finish, you can see it's accepted that as a correct answer. So we also have use question as a title, which is basically saying like, hey, this isn't going to be a question. We actually just want to use this as a title. You can actually go take a look at the demo quiz to see how that looks. That's pretty cool, but there's some more features here. For instance, there's this, let's go back to text-based. I don't want to delete that. So if we go to the extra tab, we can have this option here called paginate. There's also an option here for tooltip, which if you don't know what a tooltip is, this is a tooltip. It kind of allows you to kind of mouse over or hover over this element to get extra information. It's pretty useful if you just want to provide more context to the question. You can also set a question featured image, which is a kind of a large image that appears above the question. Let's use this as an example. So this will be a question featured image. And you can also add in some custom content that will automatically appear if the user gets the question wrong. So no, you big dummy. The answer is obviously HD quiz. Let's go take a look at how this looks now. So the first thing you're going to notice is what paginate does. So if I reload the quiz, we still have this first question here, sorry, and I can say cheetah. But the second question's hidden. We now have this button here called next. So if I click next, now that second question appears. So we got what is the best quiz plugin, and I'm gonna type in something. And if I press finish, it says results 1 out of 2. It says we got cheetah correct. And for this one, it says, no, you big dummy. The answer is obviously HD quiz. So that's how those features kind of work. That's how they interact. Pretty cool, pretty powerful. It allows you to extend and customize your quizzes in lots of different ways. So let's go take a look at some of the quiz settings now. So under quiz settings, we have different tabs where we have results, marking, timer, and advanced. So under results, this is where you can choose the quiz pass percentage. By default, it's 70%. That's why even if I get 1 out of 2, it still counts as like I failed the quiz. If I wanted to make it so that you always pass no matter what, I can just set this to, 0. So you need a minimum 0% in order to pass the quiz. There's also this option to hide all the questions after quiz completion. So that's if once I complete the quiz, if I only want to show this results box and I don't want the user to be able to go back and take a look at, the previous questions, you can enable this feature to hide it. Finally, we have the quiz pass text and the quiz fail text. So right now, I don't have anything in there, so we just kind of get results 1 out of 2, the social sharing stuff. Let's add some custom content. You are smart. You are silly. I don't know. I'm not very original. And you can put any custom content you want here. You can do short codes in here. You can add contact forms. You can add images. You can add video. You can add whatever you want here to this text, and this content will appear based off of the results. So let's actually set this back to 70, and let's just go take a look at how that looks now. So I'm going to say cheetah. I'm going to say HD quiz. And results 2 out of 2, you are smart, which is what I entered here in the quiz pass text. Next, we have marking. So by default, highlight correct and incorrect answers on completion is enabled. What this does is it highlights whether you got the answer right or wrong. So for instance, I selected cheetah and cheetah was right, so it's highlighted in a solid green border. Same with this one here. I got it right, so it's highlighted in a solid green border. But if I get the question wrong, it highlights in a dashed red border to let you know that, hey, moose is what you selected, but it's the wrong answer. The problem is that, yes, this tells me which questions got right and which questions got wrong. It doesn't tell me, however, in this example that, for instance, cheetah was actually the correct answer. So if you want that, let's actually, I accidentally refreshed the page. So we need to enable this feature, show the correct answers on completion. What this will do is go the extra step and also tell us what the right answer was in the event that we answered wrong. So now if I answer moose and if I just go finish, so now you can see it says that, we got the answer wrong, but cheetah, which by the way, it doesn't have a full solid border, it only has a bottom border, cheetah was the actual correct answer here. More options are immediately mark answer as correct or incorrect. Stop users from changing their answers, which by the way, if this is enabled, this has to be enabled, and always show the incorrect answer text. So I'm going to enable all of these just to show you what this does. So if I refresh the page again, now if I select cheetah, it's instantly marked it. It's instantly told me that yes, you got the right answer. If I refresh the page and choose wolf, once again, it's immediately told me, nope, you got the answer wrong. This is what the correct answer was. And if I do something like, remember that extra text I put in that said, no, obviously the correct answer is HD quiz? That text will only appear if I get the answer wrong. However, because I enabled this feature, that text will appear anyways. So even though I got the question right, it's still giving me that extra text, that extra content. Next, we have the timer. So the timer can actually run in 2 modes. The timer can run for the entire quiz. So for instance, I'm just going to make this 60. And this will give us 60 seconds to complete the quiz. So now that we have a timer, instead of showing the quiz, we now have this quiz start button. And I'd like to also remind you that you can translate all of these in the HD quiz about an options page. So if you don't want this to say quiz start and you want to translate this into your own language, you can do so there. So only once I click quiz start do we now have this cool timer showing up, and that's how much time we have to complete the quiz. If we don't finish the quiz in time, the quiz will just automatically submit, and it'll just mark whatever answers that we've already submitted, and any question that we haven't answered yet is just wrong. You got it wrong. There's also the per question feature. So for instance, I could do something crazy like 10 seconds per question. So what this does is make it so that I have to answer each question in 10 seconds or I lose. So for instance, cheetah, and now the timer's reset and I can say HD quiz, or though I typed it in wrong, so I'm gonna get it wrong. And oops, I got it wrong and I failed because I'm very silly. Finally, we have the advanced tab. So this is where you can enable the sharing of the results. So for instance, by default, you can share on Facebook or Twitter. Maybe you don't want to enable sharing, you can disable that here. There's also the results position. You can either have the results above the quiz or below the quiz. By default, we actually show the results above the quiz. And the reason for that is so that when the site scrolls up to where the results are, it allows the quiz taker to see that you have like marking enabled. It's kind of like an intuitive visual way to let your users know that, oh, I can actually go review my answers. But if for whatever reason you don't like that and you want to have the results show below the quiz, you can do that here. There's also randomized question order, which will randomize the order of the questions. Randomize the answer order, which will randomize the individual answers. For instance, let's actually take a look at both of those here. So if I refresh the page, you'll see that now cheetah is no longer the first item. Moose is the first item. Let's refresh again. And you can see that, now this text-based answer is the first question. It'll literally just randomize every time you load the question, or load the quiz, sorry. Next is a feature that I feel is pretty underrated. Not a lot of people use it, but it's really cool, which is they use a pool of questions. Let's imagine that I had a really large quiz. Maybe I have 100 questions in my quiz. If I enter, for instance, 10 here, then what this feature will do is every time the quiz loads, instead of having the quiz comprise of all 100 questions, the quiz will just randomly grab 10 of those questions each time. So especially when you combine it with a random answer order, it creates a pretty unique experience every time the quiz loads. Finally, we have WP pagination, which just don't use it. Don't use it. It's a bad feature, don't use it. It's just here for legacy support. HD Quiz also has a CSV importer so that you can bulk import questions and quizzes all in one go. It can be found under HD Quiz Tools, and then right here, Questions CSV Uploader, you just click on Run Tool, and it'll provide you with an example CSV that you can use as a template. All you do, you just choose File, select the CSV, begin import, that's it. Nice and simple. I just wanted to bring it up because it's something people ask me all the time, and the answer is, yeah, you can totally, import a list of questions from a CSV file. The last thing to go over are the add-ons. So if you're sitting there thinking, hey, Dylan, this looks great, but it's still missing some features I need, features such as being able to limit how many times a quiz can be attempted. Don't worry, there's lots of add-ons for HD Quiz that extend that functionality. Add-ons such as the Limit Attempts add-on. What this add-on will do, and by the way, it's completely 100% free, is it will allow you to either A, make it so that quizzes can only be taken by logged in users, or otherwise it'll allow you to set a limit on how many times each user can take a quiz. So you can limit the quizzes to only be taken once per user, or 10 times per user, or whatever you feel is relevant. There's also the Save Results Lite add-on, which is once again 100% free. It's a great little add-on for kind of analytical purposes so that you can see how many quizzes are being completed, what the most popular quizzes are. You can see what the score of each quiz is so that you can see, maybe people are struggling with one quiz more than another. You can see the completion date. If the user is logged in, you can get the user information of who completed the quiz. And you'll be able to see the status of the quiz, as in whether the quiz was passed or failed. It's completely free, and you can download it from WordPress.org. There's also some paid add-ons. For instance, there's the Save Results Pro add-on, and this will allow you to save quiz taker information even if they're not logged in. It'll allow you to add custom form fields. It'll allow you to add a leaderboard to your site. It'll allow you to automatically send emails of the results. It'll allow you to save how long it took the user to complete the quiz, and it'll allow you to save the actual individual result of each question and answer. So when a user submits a quiz, not only will you know what quiz was submitted, what the date was, who it was, but you'll be able to see the individual answers that were submitted. And finally, we have the Quiz Styler, which is just an add-on to allow you to customize the style. You can change the colors, you can change the font sizes, you can add background images, and do a lot of kind of fun customizations to the quizzes to make them your own. And a lot of them are really cool. A lot of them are really fun. Definitely check it out. So that's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you decide that HD Quiz is for you. And please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or if you need support.